welcome to another episode of Will It Work? I'm Kevin, and today we've got another Radio Shack TV Scoreboard. This is an interesting Pong unit that they designed. It's basically all condensed into a single handheld unit. This can be clipped on here so that one could potentially play single player just by holding the unit in their hand, wired to the television, assuming you were running this on batteries. It has a number of options. There's a serve, both manual and auto. You can adjust the size of your bat, ball speed, and we have a selection here now of 6 games, which was different than the first one we looked at, which only had 4, primarily because there is a target game and a skeet shooting game, and that would require a gun, which would plug in here. And at the moment I don't have the gun for this, although my guess is it's the same as every other light gun that goes to these Pong games. It seems to have the same interface of the one I looked at earlier. And, we can't really test it unless it's on the gun, unless it's on a regular TV, which I do have. But the video from a regular TV that you would see would be very line driven. And because the refresh rate of the TV, it never matches up with that of the camera. And so you get flickering or lines being drawn, etc., and it just wouldn't be good to display. Primarily, we're here to just see if this thing works. If I do find the gun, I will, of course, put these two together. But not a lot of times when I bought a lot of these, either from like a Salvation Army store or something, I would not always find all of the pieces. So this one does take batteries. I'm not going to slide this battery door off because it's pretty stiff. Change channels here. I have a feeling this one will probably work. These Radio Shack things seem like they last forever versus a lot of the other ones. I know it's odd because people never thought of Radio Shack as being super high quality or anything, but they were at least sturdy. That's a good word for it. So let's go ahead and try the adapter and see if we get some sound out of the unit. We'll turn it on. Yep. Okay, so we got gameplay that's working, but not so much the video just yet, since we'll have to drive that in. So let me set that up and we'll take a look at it.
Okay, so I do apologize. The TV is staticky, but this is video coming straight out of the unit itself, and I have tested other game systems with this setup, and we've noticed that the video is a lot less staticky. So we're just going to have to chalk this one up to just kind of switching it here to see if the switch box can make it any clearer. But no, it looks like it's just, that's the way the unit is. Doesn't have a very strong RF signal. I did try channel 2 and channel 3, but that's just how it's going to look. If you can hear it, the sound is coming out of the unit itself. We do have a display, which is good. Let's see, we can, so yeah, this must be some sort of single, no, I bet the other controller's off the screen. Let's see if we can bring the other controller in. There we are. And if I just were to set reset, doing this left-handed. So that's hockey. We have, let's turn it to, the dial's pretty stiff. That dial does not want to change. I would set it off. That is surprising. The dial is really stiff. There we go. Let's turn on squash. So let's hit reset on that. I'm going to turn on manual serve. Seems to work okay. Basically, you just take turns on this one. It's kind of like a racquetball kind of thing. Called squash. I don't know. Differences. I'm sure practice is just one paddle bouncing off the wall. If you're really bored with yourself. Now let's see if I can get it to go to tennis. That's hockey. There's tennis. Just basically your simple pong. And let's see if we can get the skeet and the target to at least show up. And I think we can, you just have to hit that white dot. So this is even cheaper than anything else. They're just basically bouncing a dot on the screen that you shoot at. It's kind of lame. And that's skeet. And then target, I guess, is probably just popping up somewhere. You shoot the white dot where it pops up. Oh, it just moves around all the time. So, yeah, nothing exciting here. It's just a regular Pong system. These all came out about the same time. So if you got one home, it really just was going to play a few games, in front of the TV for a while. Maybe a couple hours with the family or, the kids could play. And it'd probably get boxed up and you probably would rarely touch it again unless you had guests over or something and you just wanted to do something. I'd give Radio Shack some points here just for the fact that, they came up with a unit that you could just hold in your hand, maybe sitting down on the couch with all the options right there without having to be leaned over onto a console on the ground. So they kind of understood that, hey, people want to be able to take the controls, back, and lean back on the couch, but they didn't have it to a point yet where you could, select options on screen, so they have all these buttons and things on the controller itself, which is also the main unit. But, it works. It's a keeper. And, we'll move on to the next one. Thanks for watching.